Your content strategy has a lot to deal with that dead tree behind me. Hey, what is up, guys? It is Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur, and we are going to be talking about your content strategy and how you need to effectively attack it, or you are never going to be successful. Now, a lot of people think that content and building content, and that could be blogs, videos, podcasts, whatever that content may be, is extremely nerve-wracking and difficult to do. Because you think about it, you have people like Joe Rogan who have 1,000+ episodes. You have people like the EOD, or the Entrepreneur on, or better yet, EOF, Entrepreneur on Fire. These are people that make podcasts literally every single day. Now, he records them once a week on Sundays, records them all, edits them all, and then hits the publish button every single day to make sure they come out on time. But how does this relate to that pile of trees? A lot of people get this nerve-wracking feeling about their strategy, when just like this pile of trees, you have to do it, but there's a couple things that you can do to make the situation better. First thing that you have to start doing is start. That tree would never ever get resolved or never get taken down and cut up into firewood if I didn't work on it at least an hour a day. Now, I'm almost done with that. That'll be done in about another month, and I figure if I spend another hour a day, I will have that entire tree completely done, chopped up and ready for firewood in about 1 hour per day. But sitting down, just like I am now, takes about 15 to 20 minutes. I have an editor, I send it off to him. Ben, you're the man. So realistically, it takes me about 30 minutes to make a video. Not everybody has 30 minutes. I get that. We all have little cell phones with TikTok on it. Making a TikTok video only takes, on average, maybe about 5 minutes. So everybody has 5 minutes in every single day that they could be making content. But I told you guys I was going to talk about that tree and your content strategy. So people absorb content in 3 different ways. That is audio, video, and by reading. That's it. There's no other real way for content. Yes, there's food and your other senses, but as far as content goes, there's only 3 mediums that people digest it in. It's written, it's video, and it's audio. So once you figure out what you're going to do, you need to start figuring out a game plan. I needed to understand that, hey, I need to break everything down first. So I've already started cutting it up, and most of it's cut up at this point, into smaller sections, bite-sized sections. What I did was I started to attack the large portions first. Now, other people may start with the small portions first, and that's fine. At the end of the day, you have to do all of the work anyway. It's just a matter of figuring out what you prefer. Some people aren't strong enough to lift the big sections, so they have to start with the smaller sections, the little branches, the twigs, and work their way up, which is fantastic. And other people, they're ready to jump in, they just need the guidance to go forward. So in this case, it was learning how to use a chainsaw correctly, learning how to use the cutters correctly, and breaking down that tree into smaller sections. I am an all over the kind of place person. I love working on small projects and big projects at the exact same time, as long as I know that they're going to get me towards the end goal. Now, you may be very different. You may say, hey, I want to work on the really big articles first, or the big podcasts, or the big YouTube videos first, and create my foundation that way, and then afterwards I'll work on the smaller stuff to fill in the cracks. But ultimately, you need to come up with a complete strategy and a complete design on what your content is going to be. Now, in the case of my tree, we all know what trees are. We have the branches, we have the trunk, and then we have the root system. Just like your content, you're going to have the exact same thing. You're going to have your trunk, which is going to be your main content. You're going to have your roots, which is going to be the rudimentary content. Hey, does this prove that we know what we're doing? Does this prove how we work? And then you're going to have your branches, which is going to be filling in all of those cracks, those last things. Hey, do you guys do this? Hey, how do we do this? Hey, are you an expert at this? Now, in the digital marketing space, we call them different things. We call them staple posts, response posts, pillar posts. It's called the skyscraper method. These are all the same thing, but it just varies based on what you're talking about. So in this case, we have my tree here, and every single day I'm going to work at it and work at it. Now, I am not an expert at taking down trees, so I hired an expert to take this tree down. I'm also not an expert at getting rid of roots, so I'm going to have to hire a stump grinder to come in. Same thing with your content. I'm not good at video editing, hence why I have my guy Ben. Ben, feel free to put a little hand on the screen here, but Ben is the man. He's going to help me make my videos look great, make them more engaging, throw some cool background music on it, and ultimately bring it into a cohesive format. Now, thankfully, I know how to record, I know how to use camera equipment, and I know how to make some sweet thumbnails and descriptions, but I needed somebody to fill that gap, and you may very well need that in your content strategy. If that's posting on social media, if that's recording videos, if that's editing maybe blog post that you end up creating, or maybe you don't want any part of it, just like some major corporations where they hire people to do it. All of that is totally fine. You have to understand what's going to work for you, what you're comfortable with, and if you're not willing to do it, do you have somebody who's an expert in that field who can do it for you? But at the end of the day, it takes two things to be majorly successful with your content. One, you have to start. I had to call the person and have them take down the tree, and I have to start working on it, or better yet, I did start working on it. But this is crazy important. And the second thing that you have to do is know your limitations. I knew I wasn't going to cut these trees down because I didn't want them to go through my house. Just like you may say, oh, you know what? I need somebody to either start it for me, format it for me, or at least teach me the basics, which you can learn by subscribing to this channel and hitting that like button so more people can see this video. But you need to understand where your limitations are, and then you can progress forward. So I hope you guys found some value in this video. I know a lot of people get really nervous when it comes to their content strategy, where they're going to start. What does it actually look like? Think about it. Sit down, understand each step of the process along the way, and think about, hey, what do I need to put on my website, or what do I need to put on YouTube so people understand that I'm an expert and they're gonna reach out so that way they can do business with me. And that's it. If you can answer all of those questions, I promise you, you are going to create a crazy successful business online. It is not as hard as you think. And if you're in any other industry than digital marketing, I promise you, it is so freaking easy. I love you guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye.